Right? They're not going to have any crime there. It's amazing. Memphis, Tennessee is another one. The mayor works with us. And, it's nice when they work with us. It's just so much easier. Sometimes we can't work with them. Like in Minnesota, they won't work with us, but we've still driven crime down 25%. If we didn't have to fight this horrible governor and this horrible fake mayor, Fry, this is the Constitution of the United States. People don't want to be mugged. They don't want to have a murderer living next door that was, killed 3 people in a certain country and is now living beautifully here. Because generally speaking, if they've killed in another country, they're not going to be the best of citizens. And they're rough people. Remember in the campaign, I used to say that their criminals make our criminals look like babies. It's true. These are some of the meanest, most vicious people. They only gave us the worst. They don't send, they're very smart. Guys like the president over here, El Salvador. He's sent us a few. I don't want to talk to him about it. But he sends us some real bad ones. He's not, look, you just say it, we'll do it more positive. Isn't it true that you will not send your good people to the United States? Wouldn't you say? Look at him. He doesn't know. He said, what's going on here? But no, he sends bad people to the United States. And I'm going to talk to him after this. But I love him. He's done a great job, right? They're smart people. And they're very streetwise. When you're running some of these countries in South America, Latin America, you got to be streetwise. You got to be smart. He's very smart, very streetwise. But these leaders of those countries, they're not sending. They cherish their good people. They only send us their bad people. But we have done some job, and we have, in Minnesota, crime's down, just despite that we have to fight these lunatics over there that are stealing money, by the way, also. I believe it's actually a cover-up of the $19 billion at least that they've stolen. I actually think they do this as a cover-up. Under the Trump administration, we're standing strongly behind Americans of faith, stopping the attacks on our values, our traditions, defending religious liberty, like no president. I believe like no president has ever done before. I do believe that. We got rid of the sinister Johnson Amendment so that pastors can speak the truth and they can speak it without having their tax-exempt status revoked. I was with a large group of ministers, pastors, priests, rabbis. We had a group of people that were a great group. And I asked them for help. Paula White was there, remember, Trump Tower at the top of the building, beautiful building. And they were so enthusiastic for the first election. They were so enthusiastic. And I didn't want to be pushy because I'm not a pushy individual. But I didn't want to be overly aggressive. So I figured I'll ask them in the second meeting. So the second meeting came, the similar group, ministers. We had Muslim leaders there. We had everybody there. But there were about 55 of them. Beautiful boardroom on the top floor, tall building, beautiful building in New York. And I said, I'd like to ask, and they were so good. They, sir, we love you, you're great, blah, blah, blah. I figured this was going to be the easiest endorsement I ever got. And I said, I'd love to have your endorsement. And it was like ice. It was like death. I said, what the hell? What happened? And I said, could I ask what's going on? You were really nice, and now you've just clammed up, and you're like scared. And one of them stood up, that Paula knows very well. He said, sir, we're very concerned because if we speak about religion, if we ever endorsed you as an example, we would lose our tax-exempt status immediately, and our church would go out of business. He said, what's that all about? And it was the Johnson Amendment. Lyndon Johnson had a fight with somebody in Dallas or Houston with a minister, and he didn't like him, and they didn't like each other. And the minister thought he was terrible, and I guess he didn't like the minister. And he was a powerful president.